Welcome everybody. Consistent with section 747A of the Local Government Act 1993 and current public health order, this meeting of Liverpool Plains Shire Council is being live streamed to Council's website. A webcast of this meeting will be published to Council's website at liverpoolplains.newsouthwales.gov.au so that it is available for viewing by members of the public. Acknowledgement of country to Council prayer. Councillor Lawson.
Today we gather on the land of the Milroy Nation. We therefore need to acknowledge the traditional owners and custodians of this land. We also pay our respects to the Aboriginal elders, both past and present, and further extend that respect to other adults who have joined us today. Council's prayer. Lord, we ask that you watch over this council, guide us in our deliberations and decisions for the betterment of all the people of our Shire and Australia.
Thanks, Councillor Lawson. Apologies and application for leave of absence for councillors. We have a leave of absence from Councillor Paul Mould, dated from the 18th of the 10th 22 to the 26th of the 10th 22. Be received and accepted. Do I have a mover? Councillor Cudmore, seconder. Second, Councillor Cohen. Those in favour? Those against? Carried. Item 3.1, minutes of council meeting held on the 28th of September 2022. Recommendation reads, minutes of the council meeting held on the 28th of September 2022 be received and the recommendation therein be adopted. Mover, Councillor Cudmore, seconder, Councillor Allen. Anyone wishing to speak for or against the motion? If not, I'll put the motion. Those in favour? Those against? Carried. Item 4, disclosures of interests. There's nil disclosures of interest. 5.1, the mayoral minute. Recommendation that council receive and note the mayoral minute. And I wish to move that report. Seconded, Councillor Cudmore. Did anyone wish to speak for or against the motion? If not, I'll put the motion. Those in favour? Those against? Carried. Item 6, inward correspondence and petitions nil. Item 7.1, Executive Services Report for October 2022. Recommendation that Council 1, receive and note the Executive Services Report for September 2022. Do I have a mover? Councillor Cowan, a seconder. Councillor Wynne, did you wish to speak to it, Councillor?
No, speak.
Anyone else wishing to speak for or against the motion? Councillor Cudmore.
Has there been any discussion with any developers about what's happened since we passed the new development down here? With is there any sort of come forth from that, and any joint organisations about recycling and stuff? The government want to push us down this track, but I saw the other day there was a truck with millions of tyres on it, so there is recycling for tyres and all that sort of stuff. Who do we talk to sort of promote that sort of stuff? Like we've got a Shire that's, a water security development. Nothing seems to be moving. I'm not quite sure who's in charge. How do we actually move development in this Shire?
Gentlemen.
So, Councillor Cudmore, are you referring to development of residential sites or attraction of industry?
Either or.
So, residential sites, there's been the application reports being presented to council. In terms of industrial development, there's a number of state significant projects that are on the drawing board. In terms of attracting industry, the economic development plan that we talked about and the providing a very good road network is fundamental to that. The provision of intermodal is another economic development piece that's very attractive for industry. So the cost of transport and the security of our road network is one of the fundamental pieces of work council's done to attract industry to our particular shire.
Thank you.
Anyone else wishing to speak for or against the motion? If not, I'll put the motion. Those in favour? Those against? Carried. Item 7.2, Resolution Register Update for October 2022. Recommendation that Council receive and note the Resolutions Register as at the 20th of October 2022, appended Appendix A. Do I have a mover? Councillor Allen, seconder. Councillor Cudmore, did you wish to speak to it, Councillor Allen?
No, thank you, Mayor.
Anyone else wishing to speak for or against the motion? If not, I'll put the motion. Those in favour? Those against? Carried. Item 7.3, Corporate and Community Services Directorate Report for September 2022. Recommendation that Council receive and note the Corporate and Community Services Directorate briefing for September 2022 as detailed in this report. Do I have a mover? Councillor Cohen, seconder. Councillor Allen, did you wish to speak with Councillor Cohen?
No, Mr. Mayor.
Anyone else wishing to speak for or against the motion? If not, I'll put the motion. Those in favour? Those against? Carried. Item 7.4, Special Variation 2023-2024. Recommendation that Council 1, receive the report Special Variation 2023/2024. 2, confirm and request the General Manager to notify the Independent Pricing and Regulatory Tribunal of its intent to apply under Section 508(2) of the Local Government Act 1993 for a permanent 1-year special variation of 18.1% in 2023-24 to negate the negative revenue impact of the special variation expiring on the 30th of June 2023 and increase by 3.7% rate peg for 23-24. The purpose of this application is maintaining Council's financial sustainability and existing levels of service across the community. 3, note that the next phase of the community information engagement period will commence in November 2022. And 4, request a future report on the November 2022 community consultation outcomes prior to the special variation application for 2023-24. Councillor Lawson, seconder. Councillor Allen, did you wish to speak? Councillor Lawson.
I think it's very important that the community understands that this 1-year permanent special variation of 18.1% is actually locking in the previous 2 years of temporary special variation that we've had already. So the net effect is only actually going to be the rate peg of 3.7% that's set by the state government. So all we're actually asking for here is to permanently implement the rate rises that we've already seen. And also it's good to see that Council has been able to exercise a lot of cost containment over those past 2 years so that we don't have to go for that further 8% that was originally asked for 2 years ago. So we've only had those 2 years and we now have the 3.7% rate peg, which is across the state.
Thanks, Councillor Lawson. Anyone else wishing to speak for or against the motion? If there's no other speakers for or against the motion, I'll put the motion. Those in favour? Councillor Cudmore? Or you in favour? Those in favour? Those against? Carried. Just had me tossed through. Item 7.5, annual tabling of disclosure of interest returns. Recommendation of council, note the annual tabling of disclosure of interest returns by council, senior staff and designated persons. Mover.
Seconded, Smith.
Councillor Cohen, seconded Councillor Lawson. Did you wish to speak with Councillor Cohen?
No, it was Smith.
Anyone else wishing to speak for or against the motion? If not, I'll put the motion. Those in favour? Those against? Carried. Item 7.6, statement of investments for September 2022. The recommendation that council receive and note the statement of investments as at the 30th of September 2022. Do I have a mover? Councillor Lawson, a seconder. Councillor Allen, did you wish to speak with Councillor Lawson?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. We've had it explained to us at length by our Chief Financial Officer, Councillor Wirtz, this morning, so I'd like to thank her for that explanation and making sure that our funds are always invested as best possible.
Thanks, Councillor Lawson. Anyone else wishing to speak for or against the motion? If not, I'll put the motion. Those in favour? Those against? Carried. Item 7.7, Code of Conduct Policy and Procedures for the administration of the Code of Conduct. Recommendation that Council 1, pursuant to Section 440(3) of the Local Government Act 1993 and Clause 180(1) of the Local Government General Regulation 2021, adopt the draft Code of Conduct contained at Annexure 1. 2, repeal the Code of Conduct adopted on the 30th of September 2020. 3, pursuant to Section 440(3) of the Local Government Act 1993 and Clause 181 of the Local Government General Regulation 2021, adopt the draft procedures for the administration of the Code of Conduct contained at Annexure 2. 4, repeal the procedures for the administration of the Code of Conduct adopted 30th September 2020. Do I have a mover? Councillor Cutmore, seconder. Councillor Lawson, did you wish to speak with Councillor Cutmore?
No, they did.
Anyone else wishing to speak for or against the motion? Councillor Lawson.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. It was just explained to us in the workshop that this is a requirement that we have to revisit this code of conduct every 12 months. So it's just procedural, and our code of conduct mirrors the one put out by the state government for us to adopt.
Thanks, Councillor Lawson. Anyone else wishing to speak for or against the motion? If not, I'll put the motion. Those in favour? Those against? Carried. Item 7.8, Learn to Swim. The recommendation that Council rescind the Learn to Swim fees in the 2022-23 fees and charges schedule. Do I have a mover? Councillor Lawson, the seconder. Councillor Webb, did you wish to speak to it, Councillor Lawson?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. This has come about, as explained to us, simply because we're required to put all council fees and charges into our fees and charges document. However, we're not going to cut out the 10-week blocks that we're allowed for. These are going to be delivered by a contractor for a shorter blocks of time, so we need to remove those fees.
Thank you, Councillor Lawson. Anyone else wishing to speak for or against the motion? If not, I'll put the motion. Those in favour? Those against? Carried. Item 7.9, Local Advisory Groups. Recommendation that Council 1, receive and note the minutes of the Currabubula Local Advisory Group. 2, receive and note the updated register of Local Advisory Group members. Do I have a mover? Councillor Allen, seconder. Councillor Cohen, did you wish to speak to it, Councillor Allen?
Just to say that the Currabubula LGA group go against leaps and bounds as usual. And Rick, high five for doing it, and also the criminal both meeting on a regular basis and they're doing what the program is set up to do. Thanks.
Thanks, councillor Brown. Anyone else wishing to speak for or against the motion? Councillor Cullen.
I'd just like to support Councillor Allen's comments there, but also make it known that these flags were set up for the purpose of transparency and to have the community more involved with some things coming from various areas back to us as a council. And I'd just like to encourage the other flags that are established to also begin, to begin regular meetings and maybe to make more contact with councillors on a better level. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thanks, councillor Cullen. If there's no other speakers for or against the motion, I'll put the motion. Those in favour? Those against? Carried. Item 7.10, Community Funding Program. Recommendation that Council 1 approve the allocation of 1 grant to the Liverpool Plains Business Chamber of $2,000 as per the grant application for the purpose of conducting a business expo event. 2, accept the late application from Quirindi Rotary and approve the allocation of 1 grant to Quirindi Rotary of $2,000 as per the grant application for the purpose of the Sober in the Country event. Do I have a mover? Councillor Allen, a seconder. Councillor Wynne, did you wish to speak to it, Councillor Allen?
Both are great events that will happen in the Liverpool Plains LGA, and I wholly support those events that are happening and wish them all the best.
Thanks, Councillor Allen. Anyone else wishing to speak for or against the motion? Councillor Cullen.
Mr. Mayor, again, endorsing Councillor Allen's opinion, but again, we would like to see more applications in relation to these community funding programs, and we would certainly like to encourage the various not-for-profit organisations and other organisations in our community, when these grants become available, they are publicised and available every 6 months. We just like to encourage the community to come forth with their projects, and so we can, we have a limit to what we can put out there, but in this case it hasn't been fully funded, and we would, we encourage people to come forward so we can make these community grants more beneficial to everybody.
Thanks, Councillor Cullen. If there's no other speakers for or against the motion, I'll put the motion. Those in favour? Those against? Carried. Item 7.11, 2022-2023 pool season briefing. Recommendation reads that Council 1, the Council note the report. Have a mover. Councillor Lawson, seconded. Councillor Cullen. Did you wish to speak to it, Councillor Lawson?
Like to thank the management staff that have undertaken the work to get the pools ready for the upcoming season. It's very good to read that with the filter media being replaced, we're looking to open the Quirindi Children's Pool again. However, I do note there that given the age of the pools and the filtration system, we could possibly see closure of both pools in the event that there's some contamination. So we'll have to keep an eye on that throughout the season and just see how it goes, because obviously we don't want to see both pools being closed on a regular basis.
Thanks, Councillor Lawson. Anyone else wishing to speak for or against the motion? If not, I'll put the motion. Those in favour? Those against? Carried. Item 7.12, Infrastructure and Environmental Services Direct Report for October 2022. Recommendation that Council receive and note the Infrastructure and Environmental Services Direct Report for the month of October 2022 as detailed in this report. Do I have a mover? Councillor Cudmore, seconded. Councillor Lawson. Did you wish to speak to it, Councillor Cudmore?
Yes, please, Mr. Mayor. Can I just ask a question to Mr. Skelly just about the flood damage? How does that work with, I heard a report that we probably can't spend the money that or we don't really want to apply for too much more money, because we have trouble trying to allocate the money we've already got. Because there's more grant, isn't there more flood money available from the last one that Mr. Anderson declared last month or the month before? There's money available for flood damage, but because we've got so much backlog, we're having trouble trying to resource the road network as it is.
General Manager.
I'll just take a bit of that question, if you don't mind, Councillor Cudmore. The issue has been being able to undertake the work on the road network from the first flooding event, but the other issue with that particular funding that's available is only being able to replace like with like. So while we would love to do improvements, this funding bucket, although we appreciate it, does not allow us to improve the road network to make it more flood-proof. So there is a backlog of work because we've been continually pounded by the weather that's not allowed us to have the roads dried out enough to do the work that needs to be done.
You're on the old baby.
I'd just like to add there is monies becoming available for resilience. Resilience is a very broad term, and we're looking to see how we can capture that money to better make our network or build our network to be flood resistant. It's become apparent over the last 2 years that there are a number of key roads that are going under very regularly, and the current build of the road needs significant investment to ensure that the road network remains open during these regular flooding events. That piece of work has been undertaken. We've met as a senior management team to look at what are our priority pieces of work to put in for resilience money. The federal government has announced significant funding in this area, and of course the priority for our local government area is the roads, so we will be seeking additional funding for that.
Councillor Cudmore.
No.
Anyone else wishing to speak for or against the motion? If not, I'll put the motion. Those in favour? Those against? Carried. Item 7.13, Werris Creek Industrial Precinct Project Update. Recommendation that Council 1, receive and note the project update report. 2, acknowledge the challenges facing Council delivering the current proposed solution within the approved budget. And 3, request a further report to the Ordinary Council meeting in November 2022, detailing the solutions and associated risks and funding options in order for a decision to be made to complete the project. Do I have a mover? Councillor Allen, a seconder. Councillor Lawson, did you wish to speak with Councillor Allen?
Just to say that Nathan Skeety gave us a great update, and hopefully we can, as a council, facilitate and grab it and gain the additional funding to have this project put over the line. So I think it's a worthy project that will only improve the Liverpool Plain Shire as a whole. Thanks.
Thanks, Councillor Allen. Anyone else wishing to speak for or against the motion? Councillor Lawson.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. As Councillor Allen said, our engineer Nathan gave us a very detailed update on where things are at with this project and the expected benefits to both the economy and to safety with this project. Unfortunately, costs have risen a lot over the past couple of years. I do hope that we're able to get some further grant funding so that we can get this project over the line. And also, for this project will make that area a lot more attractive, and that intermodal safe access going forward, that we can attract more industry to the area. So yeah, I think it's a working project still, and hopefully we can find that funding to get it over the line.
Thanks, Councillor Lawson. Anyone else wishing to speak for or against the motion? Councillor Carr.
Thank you, Mr Mayor. I do support the recommendations that we are presently confronted with to receive the project update, which was well presented by Mr Skelly, and to acknowledge the challenges facing council in delivering this proposed solution within our approved budget, which after the report seems to be a fairly difficult task without further granting money. And then the third part of it being the request to further report to the ordinary meeting in November. That will be the crucial part of this debate in relation to this project. Yeah, I do support the recommendations as they stand, Mr Mayor, but certainly we'll be looking forward to if we can find any other solutions or whatever comes forth in the November meeting. Thank you.
Thanks, Councillor Carr. Anyone else wishing to speak for or against the motion? If not, I'll put the motion. Those in favour? Those against? Carried. Item 7.14, Quipolly Water Project Construction Progress Report. The recommendation that Council receive and note this month's progress of the Quipolly Water Project design and construction phases. I have a mover. Councillor Lawson, a seconder. Councillor Carr. Did you wish to speak with Councillor Lawson?
Council has presented again with another update. So it's good to see that the project's continuing to go ahead on schedule with the contingencies. So that's great to see. And even despite the weather that we've had, they're still managing to keep going ahead. So that's really good to see. Thank you.
Thanks, Councillor Lawson. Anyone else wishing to speak for or against the motion? If not, I'll put the motion. Those in favour? Those against? Carried. Item 7.15, Town Water Supply Status Update. Recommendation that Council receive and note the water supply status report. I have a mover. Councillor Cudmore, a seconder. Councillor Allen, did you wish to speak with Councillor Cudmore?
No, thank you, Mr Mayor.
Anyone else wishing to speak for or against the motion? If not, I'll put the motion. Those in favour? Those against? Carried. Item 8, Delegates' Reports, nil. Item 9, Notices of Motion, Questions with Notice, nil. Item 10, Confidential Matters. Recommendation that Council considers the confidential report, bracketed S, listed below, in a meeting closed to the public in accordance with Section 10A, bracketed 2 of the Local Government Act 1993. 10.1, Tender 049/2022, Spring Ridge Town Water Supply Stage 3A, Pipeline Construction. Item 10.2, this matter is considered to be confidential under Section 10A, bracketed 2, bracketed D, bracketed I of the Local Government Act, and the Council is satisfied that discussion of this matter in an open meeting would on balance be contrary to the public interest, as it deals with commercial information of a confidential nature that would, if disclosed, prejudice the commercial position of the person supplied. 10.2, approval to endorse and affix the council seal to lease the Harvest Christian Centre, 11 New England Highway, Willow Tree. This matter is considered to be confidential under Section 10A, bracketed 2, bracketed C of the Local Government Act, and the Council is satisfied that discussion of this matter in an open meeting would on balance be contrary to the public interest, as it deals with information that would, if disclosed, confer a commercial advantage on a person with whom the Council is conducting or proposes to conduct business. Do I have a mover to move into confidential? Councillor Allen? Councillor Lawson? Those in favour? Those against? Carried.